full disclaimer, this is not blackface. I look crazy right now, but I'm doing a face mask. But I did want to come on the scenes and just give my take on what's been happening so far with RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. Because I didn't upload a video last week after that controversial little elimination with Miss Cracker. You know, I personally didn't feel that Miss Cracker should have went home. I enjoyed her take of the song. You know, I saw her with Jetpack and Michelle was like, oh, the cartwheels and all that weren't a part of the song. And I'm like, but y'all saved bitches for worse. So I'm confused. Besides, yeah, I didn't get sexy from, you know, Cameron's performance. It just... Unpopular opinion, maybe, but in all of Cameron's lip syncs, I feel like she's been the loser. Is it just me? Like, I just feel like in her lip sync versus Eureka, I lived for Eureka. In her lip sync versus Monet, I lived for Monet. And in her lip sync versus Miss Cracker, I lived for Miss Cracker. Like, and that's the thing. You don't always need to crack a split. You don't always need to crack a fucking cartwheel and all that. But Miss Crackers were timed and it just, like, fit the beat. Like, she wasn't off beat. Her rhythm was not trash. She was on the floor. She was giving me sex. I lived, you know? But they sent this bitch packing. Sure, fine, you know? And then we come to this episode, you know, and it's top 4. And honestly, I didn't take notes. Like, it was a really good episode. We got to learn a lot about the queens. There were several parts that kind of made me emotional, which I'm going to touch on. You know, when they were rehearsing, it was so interesting to see Aquaria, because Aquaria was just getting it. And I know Aquaria's a dancer, but Aquaria's been doing fairly well. Although, nope, I'm going to touch on that later. Asia was doing much better than I expected. That bitch came to play. You know, Cameron... She did fine, you know, that's not her gig. And she definitely had some weird choreography anyway. And then we have fucking Eureka, who is struggling as fuck. But I'm gonna skip ahead. But in her final rendition of the performance, she did amazing. Like, she was keeping up and she was whipping the fuck out that hair. And I was living for it. I was living for it. But yeah, so we got to know a little bit more about the bitches and stuff, and it was cool, you know. I really, for the first time in a while, besides Snatch Game, oh, and that other challenge, I forgot what it's called, the one where she was a robot. Aquaria really impressed me with her verse. At the beginning, I wasn't feeling it, but she was like, stunting looks very pretty. She was like, stunting looks serving pretty. I'm the bitch from New York City. I was like, okay, Aquaria, bitch. I don't know who you think you is, but where is this bitch? Where is that Aquaria? I feel like Aquaria's been very, like, I don't know. I feel like I know the same of Aquaria that I knew prior to the show. I feel like there's nothing that I learned about her. I feel like she didn't delve too much into her personality. I feel like I don't have anything to work with. Okay, she's gorgeous. Okay, she's great at makeup. She can dance. She's a sickening queen. She looks very pretty. All that stuff. What the fuck? But what else can I work with? What else do I have? Nothing. The only thing that I feel that was brought up about this bitch is just that she cannot fucking talk. And I feel like, okay. Like, okay, like, what is that? You know, like, alright. But yeah, I just don't feel like we know anything about Aquaria. Like, we know about Asia. We know about Eureka. We know about even Cameron's ass. We don't know shit about Aquaria. So it's like, alright. And, in terms of the runway, last week, bitch, Aquaria, you did that, bitch. Like, I don't really like to give credit to bitches who, you know, toot their own horn. But Aquaria, you did that, bitch. Now let me clock T. While you did look sickening, that little lavender look you had with the sombrero, bitch, I stand. That shit was beautiful. And then the fucking earring with the teeth, I love that. But y'all hoes wanted to talk about Miss Cracker's looks not being, you know, like being polar opposite, not having nothing to do with each other. Aquaria's looks had nothing to do with each other, but whatever, you know. But they were sickening. They indeed were sickening. But bitch, them shits had nothing to fucking do together. So bitch, what are you talking about? Asia should have won that challenge. Asia should have won that motherfucking challenge. If not Asia, bitch, Eureka. Because Eureka went ham on herself. Yeah, the looks were kind of basic, but she went in on her fucking self, which was the challenge. What else? Oh, so this episode, you know, Aquaria's look was very polished, very beautiful. I loved it. It was throwing me fucking off how the stars that she had dangling from her eyes were at different lengths. It was bothering the fuck out of me. But other than that, bitch, the dress was nice. I loved her makeup. I love that hair. You can never go wrong with just a bang, a side swoop, and some waves in that shit. Can never go wrong. And she's done amazing this season. But it's like, she's done so great this season, but I feel like I don't have anything to work off of. Maybe runways, you know, but I feel like other contestants have more iconic and memorable moments. I don't really have that with Aquaria. And I was looking to really, and I said this from the very beginning, I was keeping my eye on her because I had a feeling she was going to try it. I had a feeling like, I'm keeping my eyes on you, bitch. Like, you're going to try it. You're going to test me. So I was watching that bitch with a watchful eye, and there was really nothing that she gave me. And when she started to give me something, it would be like, oh. Like, she was doing great in challenges, and I'd be like, yes, yes, where's this personality? Like, yes, 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 yes. And then, the personality just fizzled. It felt fake. It felt inorganic. Granted, I don't know her, but I know people like her who edit themselves. And it's like, it's crazy because people were saying that Miss Cracker was editing herself, but Aquaria was editing the fuck out of herself. Ooh, I can barely emote right now. It's tightening up. But, I'm not sold. But she is sickening, though. I cannot take that away from her. And so then we move into Asia. Asia's look tonight was, I really, really enjoyed it. Her performance, I really enjoyed it. I loved her little twist on it, you know, it was cute. But her look, I really enjoyed it. The only thing is, I really, 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 really wish that it was a little bit kind of like Eureka's, where it was high-low and like a train. Because it was like, just showing her feet, and I just wish it was like high at the front but then low with a tiny little drag, like a little tiny little train in the back. Just would have been sickening. Ugh. But other than that, it was an amazing look. She looked beautiful. Yeah. Then we have Eureka. I fucking loved that fucking look. It was my favorite look out of all of them. It was camp but glamour. It was dramatic. It was beautiful. It was top 4. I love the hair. I love the makeup. I love the dress. I love the fact that it was high-low. At first I thought it was like Asia's, where it was just high, and I was like, no! But then when she turned around and I saw just a small little train, perfect. Eureka, you fucking did that, bitch. You fucking did that. I loved it so much. And then, she's been doing really well this competition. I really enjoyed Eureka. She is a comeback queen like no other. She's done better than every comeback queen prior to her, and she's sickening. And then we have Cameron. You know, Cameron will always serve you looks. That look was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was elegant. It was amazing. Loved it. You know, pretty. But Cameron this season, I feel like, you know, she Roxy'd her way down to the top 4. She just saved her ass, and that was it. You know, what is there to say about Cameron? You know, she's shy. She didn't want to talk too much about herself. Like, she, like, edited herself. And did I feel she was top 4? No, but who cares, you know? She did really well in the challenge, though, bitch. When I saw her serving, when Michelle Visage said that her shit was very Rhythm Nation, bitch, she was not lying. That bitch said, pong, 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 pong. Like, I was like, okay, bitch, you learned that motherfucking choreography, bitch. But yeah, they all looked sickening. I was so dead when, Rue brought the pictures up. I'm like, yo, are we not tired of this yet? But however, I do appreciate the fact that he brought up the pictures because, oh, before I touch on that, there was something that Asia said, which is so true, and I'm going to start applying it to my real life because it's so true. When her and Eureka were having like their little back and forth, and she said, Eureka, what you don't understand is it is a mountain. Just because you think it's a molehill doesn't mean it's not a mountain. And that's so true. It's like something will be a something will be a mountain, but someone will think it's a molehill and they'll just treat it like it's not a big deal when it is. You know, and we all do that as humans, but we need to be able to acknowledge, you know, those kind of things. So I'm going to start using that, Asia. Thank you for that. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. I'm so happy that they used the pictures because out of all of the speeches, you know, Aquaria's was very on brand for Aquaria and it was fine. Asia's was, it felt very pageanty, but I can deal with that. But Eureka's, it's like even coming now, like Eureka's really, ooh, bitch. Eureka's like brought me to tears. I wasn't sobbing, but I was just tears because out of everyone on that stage, the person that I connect to and identify with the most is Eureka because I've been seen as annoying. I'm always loud, I'm always extra, I'm always, you know, just boisterous, and I know where that energy comes from. I know why she's like that because I'm the same way. You know, I'm not overweight, obviously, but we share very similar energy. So when she was talking, it just really, really hit to home for me. And then you threw on Cameron, who I can't really sympathize with her, but there were certain things that she was saying. I don't really remember at the moment right now, but there were certain things that she was saying, and I was just like, yeah. You know, like, I totally get it. So those two speeches were beautiful, but Eureka's really got me. And yeah, I mean, RuPaul decided not to, you know, eliminate anyone. Right decision? I don't think so. I feel that, like, I could have done without Cameron, but obviously lip sync for the crown. But I feel like that's fucking bullshit at this point. Like, and then after the spoilers that I heard, like, I can't believe it. Like, really? For 2 years in a row, you're gonna rob the rightful person. Because I'm sorry, say what you want, but Asia should be the winner of this season. Asia should be. RuPaul loved Asia, and you cannot tell me, like, that bitch was a superstar. That bitch literally won a fucking challenge just by her face. And like Michelle Visage said, bitch, even when you didn't win the challenge, you were this fucking close. See what I'm saying? So, and I understand her, and I just feel like, wow. If not Asia, Eureka. They're both stars. They both have so much to offer. And I'm not saying that Cameron and Eureka don't, but it's like, out of all of those 4 girls, those are the 2 that we got to know the best, the most. You know? So hearing these finale twists and this bullshit, and it's just like, really, you're gonna do Asia like that? And then it doesn't sit right with me, and I'm just ready for All Stars 4 because that's something that I feel won't let me down. Because now with the spiral that Drag Race is taking 2 years in a row with this bullshit, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. So with that being said, I'll see you next week for the reunion, which should be gaggy. And I'll also be at New York and Rhode Island Pride. So see me there.